my name is Gibson, and I'm here with PlutoVR, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about what we've been up to. So being in person, it's why we're all here today. It's the chance to meet someone new, to catch up with someone that you know, or to see a presentation like this. And there's really nothing like it. That's why you're all here. Modern communication leaves us feeling a little bit more like this. Even if we can hear someone's voice or see their video on a screen, it really doesn't feel like they're there with you. And this is what's driven Pluto to actually have our purpose. And our purpose is to help humanity transcend our physical location. So no matter where we are, we can communicate with other people as if they're really there with us in person. We want a world where you can live where you want, but also go to school or get a job somewhere different. We're building the next generation of communication technologies that allow us to be virtually in person. So to do something crazy like this, we had to kind of blow away all of our preconceived notions about how telecommunications work. We started off by thinking, what's the simplest simulation we could actually do in virtual reality that would still feel like in person? So you could imagine a perfectly dark room where you can't see anybody, but you can hear people. And when you hear them, you actually can tell where they're coming from. That's because we're actually very good at picking up the directionality of sound in our environment. So to recreate this in software, we actually have to do a lot to simulate sound in a specific way that actually tricks our brains into perceiving it spatially. A key part of the quality of this is our ability to tell where you are relative to other people. So we use motion tracking technology like this, more like this, to actually track where you are. And so this is in the modern VR and AR hardware. We actually have really accurate positional and spatial tracking that enables us to spatialize you properly relative to other people. So even if you don't see anyone, you can still hear where they are relative to you. Next, we need to represent people. And this is a challenge because the current generation of hardware only has about 3 points of data, a headset, and maybe 2 controllers. So it's very difficult to try to make someone really believable. So we had to build a system that was actually useful today with this very limited tracking, but also supports the future of the hardware, which is going to be fully tracked, and fully embodied. So we had to get down to basics and actually deal with Anthropometrics. This is the measurements of our bodies, and we have to use this to programmatically deconstruct a person and then send the relevant data over the network and reconstruct them on the other side. Not to be confused with Anthropomorphics, which is this dapper frog here, who has a lot of human characteristics. So these are the things that make us able to represent people and be recognizable by the people who know us. Great. Now we have all these things, and they all work together perfectly. We've created a fragile illusion, one where our conscious minds can be fully aware that we have no idea our conscious minds are fully aware that we're not talking to other people. They're not really there with us, but our minds just kind of forget, and we accept it as reality. And now, warning, I'm going to show you a screenshot of what we do, which in no way represents what VR feels like or what this experience is like in any way, shape, or form. So here it is. Here are some people. They're talking to each other not only in different physical locations, but they're actually in different virtual locations. That's because Pluto enables you to run other apps alongside Pluto, so you can be doing whatever you want and still connecting with other people. So along the way, we've encountered some interesting challenges. One of them is the uncanny valley. The uncanny valley is the trait in which the more something becomes human, the more we like it. And then it comes a little more human, then we hate it. And then it gets really more human, and we like it again. And so when we're trying to represent people, it's very difficult to find this delicate balance. So you can see what happens when it goes wrong. And this is a creepy android. And trust me, if you see her moving, it's 10 times worse. Another really interesting thing that we discovered is that when you put people in these virtual conversations, we sort of lose all of our learned social norms. Because I've put people in conversations, and literally the first thing that grown men and women have done is punch each other in the face. And I don't understand it, but we somehow have to learn how to set up a better first-time user experience, as well as handle potential issues like harassment. So we have a long road ahead of us, and we're just at the beginning of our journey. We're just limited to virtual reality on the Steam VR platform right now, but we'll be building cross-platform in the future. So if you want to get involved and you happen to have a Steam VR headset of any sort, you can go to our website to become an alpha tester. Thank you so much, and sounds like we have a Q&A. Any questions? There's a question. So we're focusing on SteamVR as a platform, so we're actually supporting any of the consumer hardware. So this is whether it's the Vive, whether it's Oculus, and all the Windows Mixed Reality headsets actually support SteamVR now. So the interesting thing about this is it's actually significantly better than with 3 or more people, and that's because in a video call or an audio call, you have no idea who you're talking to when you have 3, 4, 5, 6 participants. You end up with this kind of Brady Bunch view that no one's looking at anybody. You're looking at a video of someone looking at a video of you. So when we have bigger groups, that's actually where it shines the most. So meetings and sync-ups, we actually do our daily stand-ups in Pluto. Yeah, so I mean, we're still really early on, so VR enthusiasts who are using VR a lot, and any single user application, so something like Tilt Brush, is single user. And the problem is, unlike your computer right now, in which I can be running a bunch of applications all at the same time, most of the VR ecosystem is still stuck in this kind of DOS mentality, where you can run one application. So if you're using something like Tilt Brush or Google Earth, normally it's an isolating experience. You're by yourself. But with Pluto, you can connect with other people. One more.
You mentioned something about like spatial audio. So if I'm in a conversation with 2 other people, let's say there's like a triangle formation. If I look to the person on the left, am I going to hear them? Am I going to hear their audio coming from that direction? And then if I look to the person on the right, will I hear the audio coming from that direction? Am I understanding this correctly?
Yes. So if you were to close your eyes and be on Pluto, it would be similar to the experience of you being in a perfectly dark room in which you can't see anybody. So yeah, the sound is spatialized. Cool. Well, if you have any other questions, feel free to come grab me and ask me about this crazy virtual reality stuff.